This is Ageless Discourse with Pastor Fred and Oluchi Chupono.
Hello, everyone. You're welcome to Ageless Discourse with Pastor Fred and Oluchi Chupono.
Hello, you're welcome to our today's edition. God bless you.
Today we have a very interesting topic to share with you. You see, while we're growing up, everybody will just be thinking, I can't wait to get married and be free. I mean, do whatever I want to do as and when I want to do it and all that. But the truth is that, do we really have ultimate freedom in marriage? You see, today we shall be talking about setting boundaries in marriage and relationships. Are they needful? Are they healthy? Why do we need them? You know, why is it that some people resist boundary? And many more things we want to share with you. So we want you to sit tight and enjoy this discuss today. All right, I go straight to my husband. What is setting? How do you see setting boundaries in marriage? Is it good? Is it healthy?
Yes, boundaries are a parameter and the limits set within a confined environment of marriage to safeguard the relationship. And it's important to have such in a relationship if that relationship should go far.
Now, safeguard the relationship, and if that relationship must go far, that means you need to set boundaries. Go on.
Yes, and exactly, you see, the setting of boundaries actually is God's initiative. The Bible says in the book of Genesis, chapter 3, if you read from chapter 2 down to 3, when God created the garden, He planted man and the woman in the garden, and they set boundaries and parameters and limits on what they should do and what they cannot do, and if they should remain with this, but within these parameters that God set before them, definitely the foreign aggression and the external influence will not come in, and of which they actually didn't live up to that, and that was why they were chased out of that. And if we wouldn't want our relationship or our marriage to come to a point whereby foreign influence and aggression and manipulation comes in from the third party and they stop the marriage, then we must set boundaries.
Wow, it's important to set boundaries. At least what I have gained today is that it helps to ward off influences.
Yes.
And again, it is based on the good of the marriage, good of the couples.
Yes.
So it's very, very important. I want us to get that, because sometimes people are scared. When you talk about boundaries, like you want to cage me, you know, that kind of thing. But we have seen that it's very important. And there are so many areas, you know, in marriage that we need to set these boundaries. You know, when we talk about finance, we talk about purity, we'll talk about parenting. I mean, a lot.
Yes.
Then I want to hear your idea. What do you think about, especially the aspect of, let's say, purity in marriage? Because the Bible said that the bed undefiled. So how could we set boundaries around purity in the marriage?
Yeah, it's very important, especially when it's a Christian home. All right, even when it's not a Christian home too. You see, infidelity kills marriage. Now, when if there is no boundary and limits, okay, within the marriage, where anyone can tread and where you should not cross, there should be lines. All right. So in the international, they say that you've crossed the line, the red line.
Yeah.
And when it crosses that, then there's a problem.
There's a consequence.
Yes.
You said something that is very important. That means that when there is a boundary, there's also consequence when you cross the line.
Yes.
Remember what happened to Adam and Eve?
Yes.
God told them that the day you eat of the fruit of this tree, that day you will die. So that's the consequence.
It is.
So that's one thing again I'm getting.
Yes.
So go on.
Now, within this confined marriage, okay, and then when the issue of purity.
Yeah.
Now, when we set boundaries that will guide us to stay pure in that marriage, it's very important. It helps the relationship to grow, and it wards off those aggression and the influences that will likely come, through both parties.
Yeah.
Now, for us to do that, we should be able to set boundaries in such a way that, look, we must not allow to have friends. For instance, I'm not saying that should be. You see, boundaries are actually should be flexible.
Yeah.
But should be adhered to strictly by the two parties.
Yeah.
By the spouse, and obey and have that as a thing that must stay. So if for instance the spouse decided to say that, well, you must not have a male friend, okay, opposite sex friend, without my intention, without my permission, and I should not have without you. That for instance is a boundary, is a limit. Now when that want to happen, I will hold on and say, well, I need to get permission from my wife, all right, to get that done. Now these things you are doing this thing not because you are being caged. You know, sometimes men will say it. Why should that be? No. The point is that you want to maintain purity. Yeah. You don't want to step out. You want somebody to control you. You can call it control, yes.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Somebody people don't like. They don't like to hear the word control.
Yes.
But of course, life is meant to be controlled. That's just the truth. Yes, you can't just go live anyhow. It's not done, because there are some people that just want to live anyhow, anytime, any day. You know, the way they like. No.
Yes, and where you discover that your husband likes going to nightclub. Okay, and you know, going to nightclub will actually make you vulnerable. All right, to begin to associate with the opposite sex and make compromise. Now you can set boundary in that area and say, look, no what do you call it? No nightclubs. And if there should be any, for instance, I'm talking about those that are outside, then there's a limit, then there's a time limit. Because sometimes some men might find it difficult to do that. You say, well, within the hours of 9 and 10 or 11, you should be home. You get it? And that's the limit. Now, this will help both of you. All right, the time you spend outside your relationship will be limited, and that will also guide that relationship.
And another thing I want to add in that aspect of purity is about not keeping secrets. You see, there's nothing that helps spouses when they go through temptation, because man, you are not exempted from temptation,
of course.
All right, and when you find yourself in such temptation, it's always better that you open up. You understand? Of course, I have heard stories of where probably a woman is working and she is attracted to the opposite sex, and because they have boundaries, she was able to open up to her spouse, who helped her to ward off that such attraction and all that. So I mean, the aspect of opening up is very, very important.
Very important.
Yes, to ward off that aspect of impurity in marriage. Then another thing we can look at again is the aspect of parenting. It's important that you also have boundaries around that, because I've seen where couples are quarreling and disagreeing over parenting. So if we have boundaries on how to raise our children, coming on the same page, it will also help the marriage to closer.
Yes, it will. It will, because a home or a nation, a country without government rules was a lawless country. You wouldn't want to set up a lawless home, all right? A family where there is no rule, no law. Anything goes, all right? Everybody wakes up when you want to wake up. Everybody eats where you want to eat. There is no particular place that one should eat. There's no particular time one should wake up, and there are no rules about the house chores and the things to be done, right? And how to raise your children. Okay, number of children that we should have. These are the things that when it comes to marriage and in family and raising children that should set in place. These are some limits and the boundaries that we said, okay, fine, we're going to, when raising up our children, these are the things that should be. Both of us should not be working at the same time. And if we should be working, then one should be coming back early. All right? And then also looking at the issue of devotion in the house is so important. Now, these things probably don't know today. There are boundaries, there are limits. That when you set these things that before we leave the house, we should be able to pray together. All right? Now, the children will learn by praying together with them. They will understand what it means to pray and talk together before leaving. Now, they're raising them up in the godly way. Okay? Now also, the other aspect of raising the children too is, allowing it can decide within the family, reason of that you don't want to adopt the issue of having a house help. You want your children, as when they get to a certain age, to begin to learn how to do things, with it from. So in order to raise them up properly, they will know how to cook, how to wash dishes, how to clean the house, how to put things in place. Because in some families, in some homes, children cannot put things straight. If you ask them where this is in the kitchen, they don't know where they are. And I'm telling you something, you are not raising them properly. Today, you can decide to set limits and boundaries in those areas. They should wake up at so time. The things that should be done before watching television, and after that, at the time of watching television, and things will be done when they come back from school, and on and on and on.
Yeah, and on and on and on. The aspect again I want us to look at is the aspect of physical and verbal abuse. You see, sometimes I remember one time I was an undergraduate. Somebody said, that for you to know a man that loves you, that man you must be able to experience his beating. Imagine that kind of thing. So you see, it needs to be discussed.
Yes.
The physical abuse, the beating, the slapping, and even verbal abuse too, tongue lashing. So if there are no boundaries around this, aspect, people can do whatever they want to do, and they go scot-free.
Yeah, it's important that when we come to that physical abuse or verbal abuse, it's very important that boundaries has to be set. Because if not, like women can talk. Now, when they open their mouth and begin to write on that, we men, we cannot compete. You know what happened? The man will get angry and raise his hand. But what we said in the Bible is that no matter what happens,
no matter what,
you must not raise your hand on your wife.
Not at all.
And no matter what happens, you must, as a woman,
don't
you must
use
not
abusive words, yes.
verbally and abuse your husband no matter what.
Yes.
So when these things are set in place, when the woman get angry, she will hold herself. When she want to open her mouth, she will remember that her boundary is set, there are limits, she will keep quiet. When the man will raise the hand, after that, he will keep quiet. What happened? Then two of you will sit down and discuss that matter.
Yeah.
Now they can see the need to set boundaries and limits. It helps the relationship.
Another aspect is the aspect of social media. You see, we actually need to set time. That when you're setting boundaries,
yes,
it has to do with two people.
Yes.
Agreeing
together.
Now, where social media is actually encroaching, you see sometimes we're there 12 midnight, 1 a.m. online and all that. If there are no boundaries set around that area, you can find yourself just going astray, and nobody's there to pull you back.
Yes, it's important also. Now we have seen that over and over. It happened to us too. All right. And we have to set boundaries. These things are very important. Now, whereby the time you have to stay together, you are there browsing. And we discover that this thing takes our time. Then we set a boundary that from once is 11 o'clock or once is 10 o'clock, no more browsing, no more phone, except on emergency. Now, these things has to be agreed, because if you're the type that likes something on the net, and you feel that when this doesn't favor me. Now the point is that if you are such a person, now you will be the one that will set the limit and the boundary. Then I will ask you, now when I don't want us to go beyond 10 o'clock, you said okay, and I will give you reasons why I wouldn't want us to handle our phone once it's 10 o'clock. Now you said okay, let's make it 10:30. Right? Because you might think that we are saying it because it favors me. That's what I'm saying. If it favors you now, you wouldn't want that to be. So that's why two people must agree. And when we have agreement on that aspect, it will work, because that means that once that time comes, I'll call you. If I'm with the phone, I said, hey, you know what the time it is, you will drop. Okay. But whereby, like I said, these boundaries has to be flexible. They need to be flexible. You see, it's not a very rigid thing that even when there's emergency, you say that shouldn't be done. And when there's emergency, it should be explained. Should boundaries be flexible? Yes. They should be flexible, because they are man-made thing. If you take, for instance, the issue of verbal abuse, for instance, let's take, for instance, whereby you have a husband that beats the wife. And after meeting, they will say, I'm sorry, I don't know what got into my head.
He's already flouting. He's already flouting.
That is the point. And you must not remain there saying, not the guy will come and say, I'm sorry about that, I don't know what got into me. Okay, I won't repeat it again. And tomorrow again, you will do the same thing, come back again. You don't just remain there. You get it? At that time,
one thing about setting boundaries, that the couples involved must respect it.
Yes.
Yes, you must respect, because if you don't, there's no need for yes, it doesn't make any sense.
Yes.
So that is why it's important that two people will agree on it, and then you hold on to it. I remember so many times in a relationship that we even set boundaries because we in quarrel. I mean, when we settle, we have had issues that after we have settled, we said, okay, because of this will not happen again. Are you understanding?
Yes.
And after that, it became our bound, nobody's to go outside that bound and all that. So sometimes you can set boundaries after something would have happened. I don't know if you get what I'm saying.
Yes, and the boundaries shouldn't be selfish boundary. Don't influence those boundaries. Let it be open. Let there be an open conversation, discussion over it. Take, for instance, you are the type that doesn't like, what they call it, love making. Let me use that word.
Okay.
All right, and the other person is very crazy about it. And you said, okay, let's set the limit in that area. It's good to set limits in every aspect. But when setting that limit, the person that should decide the time and the frequency of that should be the one that is very crazy about it. So you that don't really like it will also come down and say, well, the number or the frequency of the time should be what? Reduced.
Okay, our time is going.
Yes.
All right, why is it that some people don't like boundaries? When you mention it to them, they will just tell you, look, I am not going to do it, I'm not going to respect it, I just want to be myself, I want to have my ultimate freedom. And knowing the good aspect of boundary, why is it some people flout it? They don't just want it.
You see, one is that some people feel that, well, you want to cage me, you want to control me, you don't want me to have my freedom, the issue of freedom. Now, they don't want it because they want to behave anyhow. You see, you can't be a lawless person. All right, you cannot just live, just like your intro, it said, there's no total freedom.
Yes.
There's total freedom. All right, we as human must serve, either you are serving God or you are serving devil. You won't say an in-between, it cannot be in-between. And even when you serve God, you're a servant.
Yes.
But and when you serve the devil, you're a servant. But it's better for you to be a servant of God than a servant of the enemy. So with certain boundaries, you should not resist it. Now, people resist it because they feel that they don't want to be confined. They want to remain and do things where they want to do it. But even the life itself is not. There are time to sleep, there's time to wake up, there's time to eat, there is time for everything. These boundaries are naturally set in place.
All right, these boundaries are naturally set in place. Our time is just ticking. All right, I know you have been blessed. You see, setting boundaries are good and it's helpful. It's just like it's like a structure that will help your marriage to blossom.
Yes.
And make sure you stick to it. If you have not done that, make sure you look around your family, your marriage, and see the areas that need to be tamed. That's what we're talking about. Just taming your marriage so it doesn't get wide, too wide for you to control. All right, we'll see you some other time. Remember to
follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and also you can also WhatsApp us. And whatever it is in the question, you can inbox us in these social medias. And we look forward seeing you liking our video and
all right,
sharing.
catch ya. Bye.